Hello, everyone. Cheryl here. How is everyone doing on this beautiful day? Yes, it is another beautiful day because we are breathing. We have breath in our lungs, and we are able to see this day that we see today that we will not see again. Some of you might be saying, why are you going to try to talk about this as a beautiful day when all this stuff is going on? This pandemic and all this protests and this, that, and the other, and all those things. Is that what's on your mind? And okay, trust me, it crosses my mind, but it don't stay there long because I try to think on the good things that are going to happen to try and make things better. We can look at things because I hear people saying things are so bad now and they're only going to get worse. Well, I choose not to look at it like that. Choose to look at it like, yeah, things are bad, but they're going to get better. They're going to get better because any problem, you can look at it as just that it's a major problem and there's nothing you can do about it, or you can take that problem and use it as an opportunity to create a solution. Yeah. I heard Dr. Miles Monroe. He said that a problem is not a problem. A problem is an opportunity for you to find a solution. And with us being in the situation that we are and all different circumstances around us, there are opportunities for so many opportunities for improvement. There's opportunities for creativity. There's opportunities to do so many things that we are created to do and we're gifted to do. And this is the time. There's such a time that's happening right now of change. There's such a change, but it's all about mindset. It's about how you look at it. Are you looking at it the glass half empty or the glass half full? Do you take a situation and you try and see the good? You look for our Creator and what He's doing in it? Or do we just sit there and we complain about the way it is and don't do anything to try and make a change? Change is so important, and you can learn and change every single day and begin to adapt to a better environment, adapt to a better situation, or you continue to stay in the situation you are and keep things the way they are. But again, it's all about mindset, and that goes for a lot of different scenarios and parts of your life, no matter what it may be. I remember some of y'all know my testimony when I talked about when I went through this thing that men called cancer. Yeah, I'm going to keep talking about it because I know that there's so many people that are still going through this thing. And then they may not be going through it now. They may know someone going through it, and they may be about to go through it. And the things that I had to face, the chemicals that I had to endure, the treatments, that was what was killing me. I'm just point blank, period. That was destroying my body. It was destroying my immune system, and it was destroying everything about my health. And I had to make a decision to make a change. But because I grew up in a certain way, I was taught a certain way, I was programmed to think a certain way concerning health and medication. It was not easy for me to think that the only way that this can be done is through medication. And why did I go back there? Because I'm talking about mindset. And so when I met Dr. Price, and I'm jumping straight into this because some of y'all don't even know my testimony, so you have to go back and look at some of my videos to hear the complete story. But when I went through cancer, I was going and taking chemotherapy. I was a pretty healthy person. I majored in kinesiology. I played basketball, weightlifting, all of that. Thought that I was pretty healthy, and this thing that man called cancer was diagnosed to me, and I received and accepted that and began to treatment on what they told me. And so I began chemotherapy, and I was going every 21 days, sitting for 5 hours a day, allowing them to place in my system and in my body this hazardous poisonous chemical that the chemists, the doctors, even the nurses, in order to handle it, in order to make it, to put it in these bags that they were placing on the IV pole, they used hazmat suits. Why was that? Because it was so toxic, it was so dangerous, but yet they were putting this into my system, for trying to serve a greater purpose. So they thought it was to kill this cancer. Well, what was happening with that chemotherapy, that it was not just targeting that cancer tumor, but it was destroying so many other things. It was like trying to kill a spider on the wall with a machine gun. Eventually they got the spider, but the casualties around was so great. Well, that's what was happening with me when I was going through chemotherapy. I went through all these systems and through all the treatments, really. Barely made it. My body, you see some of my pictures, I look so happy. I look so strong because I had to go through this with the mindset of I'm going to get through it. I had to go through this with the mindset of that the joy of the Lord is my strength. I had to go through this smiling. So on a lot of my photos that you see, and I don't know if they're going to be in my book or not, but if they are, then you'll see them. If not, I'll post them every now and then. You'll see that after I made it through one round of chemo, I took a picture and I was smiling. And I was smiling because I'm like, yes, I made it through this one, the first one. I made it through the second one, through the third one, and all the way through. You see me telling you how many sessions that I went through. So I went through 6 months. Yeah. And that strong, athletic, so to speak, I would not, person became frail, weak, bald-headed. I didn't like the person that I saw because my body was deteriorating. My body was, the times that I went through the chemo, a few days later, I'm on the couch laying, not being able to move without pain, not being able to walk without being out of breath. And so many things happened as I was going through this chemotherapy. I lost all my hair, lost my eyebrows, every part of the body that contained hair. It was gone, and my skin became very dark because those chemicals were burning my skin from the inside out. My appetite left. I mean, there were so many things I can go on and tell you that was going on. The bottom line is that it wasn't good. It was not a good experience. As I completed those successions, going through surgeries, going through procedures, going through so many different things, I met this natural doctor. His name is Dr. Lamar Price. And he didn't know me. I knew nothing about him. He is an iridologist, and he did a iridology exam on me and began to tell me some things about my health that I'm like, how did he know that? Was he in my medical records? What he doing? And one of the things he did discover, that the also medical doctors did discover, was that through these treatments, I began to develop an irregularity in my heart. Yeah. And so instead of addressing that, the medical doctors, I'm going to see, doing their job, said, no, let's get you through this cancer thing, and then we'll deal with your heart later. Well, basically, I could have ended up cancer-free but dead because of a heart attack or a heart failure or something that was going wrong with my heart. That's the central unit department. That's something that I need, my heart, to order to keep life. To keep living. And so I thought that was pretty important to handle right now, but nonetheless, they wanted me to go ahead and continue with what they called this preventive cancer treatment for another 8 months and go through radiation. And at this time that I met with the Dr. Price, and I told him what their recommendation was. And as he examined and looked at the frailty of my body and the internal damage that was done to this body, he said, 8 months of chemo, I'll be surprised if you make it 5. That's not nothing good to hear, that I could go through this procedure and, like many others, not make it to the other side. So many others, and what I found after researching, after I gone through this, that if you look at many of the autopsy reports on people who supposedly died from cancer, it doesn't say that they died from cancer. It is heart failure, kidney failure, lung failure, pneumonia, all those different effects from the treatment of the cancer. So that's the road that I was on. The treatment, although its target was to shrink and kill the cancerous cells, which it never did. That tumor never shrank. It may have shrinked, not much that it was noticeable. So after all of that chemotherapy, I still had to go into surgery and have the tumor removed. And so after all of that, what I'm going to consider torture to me, Dr. Price said, listen, there's a word in Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. And it says, and I'm going to paraphrase it, I give to you every tree on the face of the earth that bears seed, and every fruit that has seed in it, I give to you for food. I say, what? You say what? And then he said, Socrates, a long time ago, said it like this: let your food be your medicine, and your medicine be your food. Our Creator, my God, I call him Father. He prepared everything we need for these bodies in order to maintain good health. He designed these bodies fearfully and wonderfully made with their systems inside that are designed to help eradicate malfunctions that we call illnesses and things if we allow it sometimes to do what it's supposed to do. But when it's interrupted by foreign things coming in to interrupt the natural system, then there's going to be a problem, a glitch in the system. Yeah, it's going to be a glitch in the system. And so that was going on with me. So he began to explain and tell me. And so make a long story, probably longer, but I'm going to try and make it short. He was introducing me into a transition into natural health, into natural eating. He gave a recommendation of a remedy that I should use that encompasses fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains, and herbal vitamins, and plenty of water. Yes. And so I had a decision to make. Do I trust this man who I don't know? But no, I didn't trust him. What caught my attention is when he repeated the words of my God. And so the decision I made is I can trust in man or I can trust in God. So because there's a way that seems right by man, but to the end therein there is death. And then I said to Cheryl, Cheryl, some trust in horses and some trust in chariots. But what are you going to trust in? And I said, I'm going to trust in the Lord. So I began to first change my mindset. That is the most important part. So many people call and email me, text me, and say, Cheryl, how did you start taking the R3 green drink? How did you start doing the Genesis and juice? How many vitamins did you take? They go right to the nutrition and the things that I did physically to get this body back strong. But the first thing that I had to do was change my mindset. What do I mean by that? We were taught medicine. We were taught you get a headache, you get an aspirin, a Tylenol, Advil. We were taught you get a stomach ache, you go get some Pepto-Bismol, Mucinex. I mean, not Mucinex. What is that other stuff? Y'all know what I'm talking about? The blue one. They come in the blue bottle. That stuff. We were taught. We get a cough or a sneeze, we go get cough syrup. Those are things that we were brought up that way. So we began to depend on pharmaceuticals. We began to depend on drugs to help us to cure these things, these symptoms that we have, but not knowing that there's not a cure that's happening. No, there is not a cure that's happening. What is happening is we are masking the symptoms. We are putting a Band-Aid on the problem, and it still exists. It's just no evidence of it because it has been suppressed. So it comes back again. So when he began to teach me about these natural things that God created for our bodies, oh my lantern, I began to take his recommendations, and I began to change the way I thought. I began to eat to live instead of living to eat. Some of the things that I ate did not taste very good, but that's okay. Because does your medicine taste good? When you take that aspirin, do you chew on it and say, oh my God, this aspirin is going to get rid of my headache? It's so good. No. So I'm not worried about the taste, because if the food is my medicine, the taste is not a concern. But guess what? Most of it tastes good. Yes, it does. I mean, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Sometimes you get a bad apple, but most of the time it's good. You use an apple for medicine. Show me on that apple where you turn it upside down or turn it around and you see 100 list of side effects that's going to occur when you eat this apple. When you go into the pharmacy, I'm talking about the natural pharmacy, there's such a variety of medication just sitting there waiting for you. But let's get back to mindset. If you don't believe it, you probably won't achieve it. And so in order for me to transition, in order for me to have transitioned into this healthier way of life, not a healthy diet, which diet in the word of, hey, I'm going to do this for a while, and then, no, but a healthy lifestyle. Begin to focus on the things that will benefit my body. Begin to look at the things that I put in my body that is going to help the different systems that God created. It's going to help aid and enhance and increase and develop and make stronger the systems versus those things that's going to tear it down. I had to get the mindset that if God created it as natural, let nature be natural, because natural be nature. Nature is natural, and natural is nature. We came from the ground, from the dirt. And fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains, they come from the ground. So I began to take out those things that were man-made, those processed foods, those synthetic vitamins, those enriched foods, those artificial flavors. Why would you need artificial when you have the real thing? I know it's more convenient. I would love to have some lemon, pure, fresh lemon juice squeezed for me each time I'm ready to make my lemon cleanse. But I'm okay with taking some natural off the tree. I don't have a tree, but hopefully they came off a tree and not from a lab. Some natural, organic, if you may, lemons, and squeezing them one by one to get that fresh lemon juice, to mix it with my maple syrup and my fresh ground cayenne pepper. Yeah. And to make the Genesis and juice or the R3 drink, to go into my pharmacy, and get the spinach and the kale and the cucumbers and the squash and the avocado and the garlic and the ginger root and the banana and the apple and the parsley and the carrots, and mix it all up to create a juice that was designed. I got this from Dr. Lamar Price. This is his recipe that was designed to aid in every system of this wonderful body. But in order for me to believe that that could even happen, I had to change my mind. I had to change my mindset, my way of thinking. Dr. Price coined this saying that he puts in his lectures when he said, we've been programmed so much, but in most computers, you can hit 3 buttons and delete some things. It's Control-Alt-Delete. So he say hit Control-Alt-Delete. Now, don't be trying to make t-shirts or try and coin that. That's his. You know, he brought that up, but I definitely wanted to reiterate, because that's so true. There's so many things that we have been placed in our mind, so many things that we have been programmed to think, that we need to clear some things out of our mind. I'm just out here, I'm talking. Y'all know me. When I'm off there walking, I'm walking and talking and just saying what's on my mind. And so that's just a brief scenario of some of the things that I was going through, and letting you know, before all these other things could even come into play, before these other things that I do could even be effective and be as successful as they are. Going on 5 years now. Yeah, going on 5 years, eating differently, taking different herbs. I don't have any on my desk, but just doing things more natural. I look for the natural alternative first before I go run to the pharmaceutical. And we call it alternative, but actually it really was the original. See, what? That really was the original. What? Not alternative, natural nature, green grass. It was here before man began to take what God created and put chemicals and pound it and extract and insert and add and take away and plus add and stuff. Don't add. You ain't supposed to add. You do not add or take away. So, listen, today, I know it's beautiful outside, and there's a lot going on, and you can think and dwell on all the things that are bad. But why don't you try thinking on these things? Those things that are pure. Those things that are of good rapport. Those things that are full of joy and peace. Why don't we think on those things? I'm telling you, your health would be better. Why? Because you're not causing any undue stress that would cause your hormones to cause all kinds of crazy, and because expose you more to illnesses because of the stress that you're placing on your body and your body system. I'm trying to get my computer to come back on, but it's trying not to do what it's about. There it goes. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, stop stressing. Basically, what I'm saying is stop stressing. It's, put a smile on your face. When things look like they're going so bad, just begin to smile. Because like I said, you'll see, I smiled through it because the joy of the Lord was truly my strength. And when you smile, it sends a signal to your brain that everything is going to be all right. So if you see someone today without a smile, give them one of yours. Y'all have a wonderfully blessed day on purpose, intentionally, and just have a great day. Until we meet again. Bye-bye.